Do you ever feel as if the world itself has rejected you? That no matter how much you try to adjust, to smile, to play along with the expectations of society, something inside of you keeps screaming, "You don't belong here." Let me tell you something that will shock your spirit and awaken your bones. You are right. You don't belong here. You never did, because you are not ordinary. You are the chosen one. And that is why your soul aches when you try to fit into places that were never designed for your destiny. You see, the greatest tragedy is not that you are misunderstood. It is that you have spent so much of your life convincing yourself you're broken. But what if I told you that the brokenness was only a disguise? What if the nights of tears, the betrayals that nearly crushed your chest, the friendships that vanished like smoke were not random at all? What if every wound was carved by divine hands, preparing you to carry a crown no one else could bear? Listen closely. Your life is not a mistake. The pattern of rejection is not a curse. It is the mark of the sacred. It is the evidence of being set apart. Think back to the moments you tried to blend into groups. Perhaps you dulled your light so you wouldn't blind others. Perhaps you shrank your dreams so they wouldn't accuse you of being arrogant. And yet, the more you tried to be small, the more your spirit rebelled. Your own soul refused to settle for mediocrity, and the people around you could sense it. They whispered, they doubted, they turned cold. But you must understand, it was never truly about you. It was about the light you carried. A light so different, so radiant, that it exposed shadows wherever you walked. Darkness always trembles in the presence of divine fire, and you are that fire. Every chosen one carries a wound that the world cannot understand. You may remember being young, asking questions no one else asked, feeling deeply when others laughed, sensing storms before they arrived. While others were content with shallow waters, you were drowning in oceans of thought, longing, and vision. Teachers may have called you difficult. Family may have said you were too sensitive. Friends may have left you behind, tired of your intensity. But you were never too much. You were simply carrying more than they could handle. They mistook your depth for danger because it reminded them of what they lacked. And so life has marked you with loneliness. There were times you lay awake at night, wondering why it feels as if the world speaks a language you can't fully understand. Times when you cried in secret, begging God to take away the burden of being different. You told yourself, "If only I could be normal, maybe I would be loved." But my beloved, hear this. You were not created for normal love, normal work, or a normal destiny. You were created for the extraordinary. You were chosen to carry a divine purpose so weighty that ordinary people could not comprehend it. The betrayals you suffered were not accidents. The rejections you endured were not coincidences. Every knife in your back was a signal flare to heaven, calling forth protection you did not even know you had. You thought God abandoned you when they walked away. But in truth, God removed them, because their presence would have poisoned your promise. Sometimes divine love looks like doors slamming shut in your face. Sometimes protection feels like heartbreak. But one day you will see that it was all a preparation for your rising. Right now you might feel the exhaustion of carrying battles no one else sees. But let me tell you this, your story is not ending in rejection. Your story is transforming into revelation. You are standing at the threshold of divine intervention. Heaven has been silent not because it forgot you, but because the silence was shaping you. You have been hidden like a seed in the soil, buried, unseen, forgotten, yet growing roots so deep that when you finally break through, nothing on earth will be able to uproot you. The reason you cannot fit in anywhere is because your seat is not at their table. Your inheritance is not in their approval. The world cannot crown you because your crown comes from God, and what God gives, no man can take away. They may laugh now, they may whisper, they may call you strange, rebellious, too much, too spiritual, too emotional, but soon the same mouths that mocked you will speak your name with trembling. The same eyes that overlooked you will watch your rising and know it was God all along. So do not grieve the friendships that could not hold you. Do not mourn the spaces that expelled you. Every time the world said no, heaven was whispering yes. Every exile was a redirection. Every heartbreak was a pruning. And every lonely night was a rehearsal for the day when you will stand in the light, unshaken, unashamed, and undeniable. Beloved, your life has been a battlefield because you are carrying something priceless. The enemy saw your potential long before you did. That is why, from childhood, the attacks came through words, through betrayals, through strange delays and disappointments. But what the enemy did not know is that every attack only refined you. Every fire only purified you. And now you stand here, not broken but burning, not weak but waiting, and heaven is about to move. The reason you don't fit in anywhere is because you were never meant to. You are not of this world. You are chosen, set apart, anointed for a destiny that eyes have not seen and ears have not heard. Your story is unfolding under divine orchestration, and while others may never understand, you must hold to this truth. Your isolation is holy, your difference is sacred, and your destiny is unstoppable. So lift your head, wipe your tears. Feel the trembling of the ground beneath you, for something is shifting. The rejection is over. The misunderstanding is ending. You are stepping into a season where heaven itself will vindicate you, not in whispers, but in thunder, not in shadows, but in light. And when it happens, you will finally understand why you could never fit in, because you were never meant to. You have walked through deserts others could not survive. You have carried storms within your chest while smiling on the outside. Every step of your journey has been a battlefield, though many around you never noticed. They thought you were simply going through life like anyone else. But God saw the invisible war that raged against your spirit. And though you may not have realized it at the time, you have already proven your strength 1,000 times over. Remember those seasons when everything seemed to fall apart? When finances dried up, relationships collapsed, health wavered, and hope itself felt like it was slipping through your fingers. The world looked at you and thought, they won't make it. But you did. You made it because there is a fire inside you that no flood can drown, no storm can extinguish, and no betrayal can snuff out. That fire is not your own. It is divine. It is the mark of being chosen. The truth is, you have been forged in battle. Others complain when small inconveniences arise, but your whole life has been warfare. You've fought in silence when no one else even knew you were bleeding. You've prayed when your heart wanted to give up. You've stood when your knees wanted to buckle. And in those moments unseen by human eyes, heaven witnessed your resilience. God recorded your tears as sacred offerings, every drop more valuable than gold. Nothing you endured was wasted. Every wound became a weapon. Every scar became a shield. And now those who once rejoiced over your pain are beginning to tremble. They don't understand it yet, but they can feel it. The atmosphere around you has shifted. They sense that the one they laughed at, the one they called weak, the one they dismissed, is rising. Not because of revenge, but because divine justice demands it. Your name has been whispered in the courts of heaven, and the verdict has been declared. It is time. Your enemies thought they had the final word. They thought their betrayal would bury you, their gossip would destroy you, their rejection would silence you. But instead, every blow became a prophecy of your comeback. Every attack became an announcement of your anointing. Because here is the paradox of the chosen ones. The more they are struck, the higher they rise. The more they are pushed down, the stronger they become. What was meant to kill you has only made you immortal in spirit. Think of how many times you nearly lost everything, yet somehow a mysterious strength rose within you. You thought you were done, yet the next morning you found yourself breathing, still fighting, still believing, even when logic said it was over. That was no accident. That was God's hand carrying you when your own legs could no longer stand. He saw the daggers thrown at you in secret. He heard the lies whispered in darkness. He felt the weight of your exhaustion when you wanted to quit, and he never abandoned you, not for a second. Even now, while you wonder if you're strong enough to keep going, heaven is moving on your behalf. The very same people who thought they were mocking you were unknowingly setting the stage for your unveiling. They will see the tables turn. They will watch as the one they cast aside begins to shine so brightly that the memory of their cruelty will haunt them. They will remember every word they spoke against you, and they will tremble, not at your power, but at the realization that you were always chosen, always protected, always covered by the divine. Beloved, I need you to understand this. Your battles were never random. The intensity of the warfare over your life is the clearest evidence of your calling. Ordinary souls do not attract such extraordinary resistance. Darkness does not waste its energy on the unthreatening. The very fact that you've been attacked so fiercely, so repeatedly, should tell you something about who you are. You carry a destiny so radiant that hell itself has tried to snuff you out since the beginning. But it failed. You are still here. And because you are still here, your victory is inevitable. Yes, it hurts. Yes, you still carry wounds that haven't healed. But even your pain is prophetic. The cracks in your heart are where the light pours out. Your tears are watering the soil for your harvest. And your suffering has become the secret training ground for greatness. Do not despise what you've been through. For one day, you will look back and realize that every sleepless night, every season of isolation, every betrayal and loss was the very thing that shaped you into a vessel strong enough to hold the glory that is coming. And make no mistake, it is coming. The shift has already begun. You may not see it with your natural eyes yet, but in the spiritual realm, there is a rumbling. The enemy senses it. That's why the attacks have intensified recently, because he knows you are closer than ever to your breakthrough. He knows that when God lifts you up, it won't just be you who is blessed. It will be everyone connected to you. Your rising will shake generations. Your light will heal wounds in others that you once carried yourself, and that is why hell is terrified of you. So the reason you couldn't fit in was not because you were unworthy. It was because you were unstoppable. The reason people walked away from you was not because you were unlovable. It was because you were untouchable. God has hidden you in plain sight, and now the time is coming for you to step into the very destiny that rejection prepared you for. Imagine the look on the faces of those who doubted you when they realize the one they tried to bury has become a seed that sprouted into a tree they cannot cut down. Imagine the silence in the room when those who whispered lies hear the truth spoken loudly in your favor. Imagine the fear in their hearts when they see that every attempt to break you only revealed your unbreakable nature. This is not arrogance. This is prophecy. This is the fulfillment of divine justice. You are not finished. You are not forgotten. You are a warrior clothed in scars, and those scars are your testimony. They prove that you survived the fire and came out refined, not ruined. They prove that God's hand never left you, and they prove that what comes next will be greater than anything you've lost. So stand firm, lift your head. The battle has already been won. The adversaries who once celebrated your downfall are now trembling, for they sense what is about to unfold. You are rising, chosen one, and nothing in this world or the next can stop what heaven has already decreed. The hour is drawing near when everything that was hidden will be revealed. For too long, it has seemed as though injustice had the upper hand, as though lies shouted louder than truth, as though cruelty triumphed over kindness. But beloved, listen carefully. God has been watching. Not a single tear slipped from your eye unnoticed. Not a single betrayal escaped his gaze. And though it looked as if the wicked prospered, justice was quietly gathering strength, preparing to be unveiled. What once was concealed in shadows will soon be displayed in light. The tables are about to turn, and the world will witness the truth that heaven already declared. You are chosen. You may have wondered why the scales of life felt so unbalanced, why those who deceived and slandered seemed to thrive while you struggled in silence, why your faith was tested in a furnace of affliction while their pride went unchallenged. But let me tell you something profound. The imbalance was never permanent. God allows delay so that justice can be undeniable. When He moves, it will not be subtle. It will be public, dramatic, and unmistakable. Your vindication will not happen in a corner. It will happen in the open, before the very eyes that once doubted you. There is a divine principle at work here, a sacred law that governs the rise and fall of destinies. Everything hidden must eventually be revealed. Lies can masquerade as truth for a season, but not forever. Oppression can masquerade as victory for a season, but not forever. And suffering can masquerade as defeat for a season, but not forever. God's timing is perfect, and when the appointed hour comes, truth bursts forth like dawn after the longest night. You have been living through the midnight, but dawn is breaking, and with it comes a reversal so powerful that even you will be left in awe. Picture this: the very mouths that spoke against you will be silenced. The very hands that tried to pull you down will tremble as they watch you rise. The very places that shut their doors will open them wide, not because of pity, but because of respect for the undeniable glory upon your life. And when it happens, you will not even need to defend yourself. God Himself will speak on your behalf. Your silence, once mocked, will become your greatest weapon, for heaven's thunder will roar louder than any accusation. Beloved, this is not just about vindication, it is about transformation. The reversal that is coming will not only prove your enemies wrong, it will heal your heart. It will restore your faith in ways you didn't even know you needed. The blessings ahead are not just material, they are spiritual, emotional, and eternal. Where you once carried heaviness, joy will overflow. Where you once carried shame, honor will rest. Where you once carried wounds, wholeness will flow like living water. Let me remind you, you are not rising by your own strength. This victory is not born from revenge. It is born from divine decree. It is God Himself who is lifting you, and when God lifts a person, no man, no system, no enemy can pull them down. You have been faithful in obscurity, and now you are about to be fruitful in visibility. You endured the test, and now you are about to inherit the testimony. The story of your life will shift from whispers of pity to songs of triumph. Perhaps you feel weary right now, uncertain if you can even believe for such a turnaround. That is normal. After years of disappointment, hope itself feels dangerous. But I want you to hold on to this truth. God specializes in impossibilities. He delights in showing His power when logic has no answers. And your situation, as painful as it has been, has set the stage perfectly for a miracle that will be undeniable. The very impossibility is the proof that it will be God's doing. You will see justice, yes, but more than that, you will see purpose. Everything you endured will not only be redeemed, it will be recycled into fuel for others. Your testimony will become the key that unlocks healing in countless souls. Your scars will speak to those still in the fire, telling them, if I survived, you can too. Your pain will become someone else's prophecy of hope. That is why you had to walk this path, not just for your sake, but for generations who will rise because you did not quit. So let me speak directly into your spirit right now. Lift your head, straighten your back. Stop apologizing for being different. Stop mourning what left you. Stop rehearsing the lies that were spoken about you. None of those things define you, only God does. And He has already called you chosen, beloved, victorious. If heaven has declared it, no human opinion can overturn it. You are stepping into a season where the proof of your calling will be so visible that even your enemies will have no choice but to acknowledge it. Do not be surprised when favor finds you. Do not be surprised when opportunities appear that you never applied for. Do not be surprised when doors open that once seemed sealed shut. This is not coincidence, it is divine orchestration. It is the fulfillment of promises made over your life before you were even born. You are walking into destiny, and destiny cannot be denied. Now hear this carefully. Your victory is not just about you. It is about the light of God being displayed through you. That means you cannot shrink back. You cannot play small. You cannot pretend to be ordinary. When the blessings arrive, receive them boldly, not with shame. When the platform is given, stand tall upon it, not apologizing for your presence. For your rising is not arrogance, it is obedience. You are not promoting yourself, you are fulfilling the will of God. And so, as you hear these words, I call you into action. Do not wait passively for justice to come. Align your spirit with it. Speak life over your circumstances. Pray boldly, as if the answer has already arrived. Walk with authority, as if the victory is already yours, because in truth, it is. Heaven has already signed the decree. You are simply waiting for the manifestation. So, beloved chosen one, prepare yourself. The season of being overlooked is ending. The season of silence is closing. The season of vindication, justice, and visible triumph is opening. You are about to walk into a reversal so dramatic that it will be talked about, remembered, and even studied. People will look at your story and know there is a God who defends, a God who restores, a God who raises the rejected into places of honor. This is your moment. Claim it, believe it, step into it with faith that shakes the ground beneath your feet, because the time for justice has come and you are walking straight into victory. Now that you understand the weight of your vindication and the promise of your rising, let us go deeper. Let us pull back the veil and see why the battles have been so fierce, why the rejection so relentless, why the path so narrow. Because nothing you faced was random. Nothing you endured was meaningless. There are reasons, spiritual, psychological, and eternal, why your life has carried the marks of struggle and why you could never seem to blend in with the crowd. From the beginning, your spirit carried a signature that marked you as different. It was like a scent the unseen world could recognize. Darkness saw your potential before you even understood it yourself. And so attacks came early. The enemy knew that if he could break you in childhood, if he could poison your identity before it blossomed, he could sabotage your destiny. That is why rejection often began in your own home, your own school, your own earliest friendships. You wondered why even those closest to you failed to understand you. The answer is painful but simple. The light in you made others confront the shadows in themselves, and rather than face their own darkness, they turned against you. This is one of the paradoxical laws of being chosen. Your very existence disrupts the comfort of those who have settled for less. When you walk into a room, even if you say nothing, your presence announces a higher standard, a greater calling, a deeper truth. And not everyone can handle that. Some feel threatened, some feel exposed, and some lash out in ways they don't even fully understand. They may disguise it as dislike, jealousy, or even moral judgment, but at the root, it is fear. Fear of your light. Fear of your difference, fear of your destiny that reminds them of their own unlived potential. You see, the psychology of betrayal often has little to do with you personally. People attack what they envy. They reject what they cannot control. They mock what they secretly admire but are too afraid to pursue. When someone sees you shining, they are forced to confront their own shadows, and not everyone has the courage to heal. So instead, they project their wounds onto you. They call you arrogant because your confidence reminds them of their insecurity. They call you strange because your uniqueness reveals their conformity. They distance themselves not because you are unworthy, but because they are unready. And this is why your path has felt so lonely. It's not that you are unloved. It's that the ones around you were not equipped to walk at your altitude. Think of an eagle. Majestic, powerful, soaring above the clouds. Now imagine the eagle trying to find comfort among chickens. The chickens may peck at the eagle, may accuse it of being odd, may resent its wings. But the truth is simple: the eagle does not belong in the coop. It was born for the sky, and so are you. Another paradox of the chosen life is this: the greater your calling, the greater your crushing. Diamonds are not formed in comfort, they are forged under pressure. Gold is not refined in ease, it is purified in fire. And so it is with your soul. The intensity of your battles is not proof of your weakness, but of your worth. God has been preparing you, molding you, chiseling you into a vessel strong enough to carry the destiny He placed upon you. That is why your road has been harder. That is why your nights have been longer. That is why your heart has been broken more than once. You are not being punished. You are being prepared. And here is another truth that may free you. Not everyone who hurt you was an enemy. Some were instruments of sharpening. Some were divine chisels breaking away what could not remain in your next season. If they had stayed, you would have been weighed down. If they had supported you falsely, you might have settled. Their rejection was a painful mercy, pushing you into the very solitude where your true strength was born. This is why you must release resentment. Forgive not because they deserve it, but because forgiveness is the key that unlocks your freedom. They were part of your story, but they are not the author. Now let us speak of your soul's mission. Every chosen life carries an assignment that transcends personal comfort. You were not placed on this earth to simply exist, to eat and sleep and repeat until the years vanish. You were placed here to shift something eternal. It may be through your words, your work, your love, your art, your presence, but whatever form it takes, it will leave a mark that outlives you. That is why your life has been so costly, because your mission is not small. Think of it this way: the more valuable the cargo, the heavier the security. A priceless jewel is locked away, guarded, watched closely. In the same way, your spirit has carried something priceless. That is why you have felt confined, restricted, pressed on every side. That is why ordinary pleasures could never satisfy you. That is why shortcuts never worked for you. God has been protecting the treasure inside you, even when you didn't recognize it yourself. And this is the final paradox. Your inability to fit in was not a flaw, but a compass. It was pointing you away from the wrong tables, away from the wrong crowds, away from the wrong distractions, and guiding you toward the place of your true mission. You were not meant to blend, you were meant to blaze. You were not meant to adapt, you were meant to transform. You were not meant to please everyone, you were meant to obey the one who chose you. So, beloved, the attacks were not signs that you are cursed. They were signs that you are called. The betrayals were not proof of your weakness. They were proof of your strength. The rejection was not the end of your story. It was the beginning of your revelation. And through it all, your soul has been whispering the same truth. You are chosen, you are set apart, you are unstoppable. Your mission is unfolding even now. The pain you endured will become the platform for your purpose. The shadows you walked through will become the backdrop for your light. And when the world sees you standing, shining, speaking, healing, creating, they will know. They will know that the reason you never fit in anywhere was because you were never meant to. You were meant to stand out, to stand tall, and to stand firm in the destiny heaven carved just for you. So here we are, beloved. After the storms, after the betrayals, after the long nights when silence felt like abandonment, you are still standing. And not only standing, but shining. You may not feel it yet, but the glow is there, resting on your spirit like morning light on the horizon. Because the truth cannot be hidden anymore. You are the chosen one. This world tried to convince you that being different was a curse. But heaven has always whispered that your difference is your crown. You tried to hide your fire, but God never allowed it to go out. You tried to blend in, but the hand of destiny pulled you out of the crowd again and again. You may have thought you were rejected, but in reality, you were being redirected. Every closed door was a divine rerouting toward your true path. And now the season is shifting. The heaviness that clung to you for years is breaking. The lies spoken against you are dissolving like smoke in the wind. The sorrow that once felt permanent is transforming into strength. You are walking into a season where favor will find you effortlessly, where the opportunities you once chased will begin to chase you, where what was stolen will be restored, multiplied, and pressed down until it overflows. But more than the blessings, more than the vindication, more than the justice that will finally be visible, remember this: your greatest gift is your identity. You are chosen, beloved, anointed, and nothing can take that from you. Not rejection, not betrayal, not failure, not even your own doubts. You belong to God, and His seal upon your life is unbreakable. So let your heart rest. You no longer need to fight for approval from people who could never see your worth. You no longer need to beg for love from those who could not hold your heart. You no longer need to explain yourself to those who refuse to understand. Stand tall in who you are. Stand firm in what you carry. Walk forward as the radiant soul you were always meant to be. And yes, you will still face resistance. Being chosen does not mean an end to battles. It means an end to defeat. The attacks may come, but they will not prosper. The lies may be spoken, but they will not stick. The obstacles may rise, but they will crumble before you. For you are shielded by the hand of the Almighty, and every step you take is guided by a wisdom greater than your own. So go forth with courage. Go forth with peace. Go forth with the quiet confidence that comes from knowing you are exactly where you are meant to be. The reason you could never fit in was because you were meant to stand out. And now the world will see the beauty of what they once rejected. Before we part, I want to speak one more prophecy into your spirit. This coming season will bring you into alignment. The relationships that remain will be real. The doors that open will be right. The opportunities that appear will not drain you. They will fulfill you. And above all, you will walk with a sense of wholeness you have never known before. Because you are no longer striving to belong, you have found your belonging in the one who chose you before time itself. Beloved, your journey has not been easy, but it has been sacred. And now, as you step into the light of what's ahead, remember this truth. You are not here by accident. You are here by divine design, and the story of your life is about to become a testimony that will inspire countless others who feel out of place, unwanted, or unseen. Through you, they will see that rejection is not the end. It is the beginning of revelation. So lift your hands if you can. Whisper if you must. But declare it with me now. I am chosen. I am loved. I am rising. I am unstoppable. Say it until your soul believes it. Say it until every shadow flees. Say it until the air itself shifts around you. Because your words carry power, and when you speak your destiny, heaven echoes it back. And as we close, let me leave you with this gentle call. Do not walk this path alone. Share this message with those who need to hear it. Connect with others who carry the same fire. Let the light spread until every chosen soul knows they are not isolated, but part of a divine family. Together we are unstoppable. Together we rise. So farewell for now, beloved chosen one. Walk in peace. Walk in power. Walk in the certainty that you are exactly who you were meant to be. And when the world asks why you never fit in, smile softly and say, because I was never meant to. I was meant to shine.